How to get out of spiritual battles is to actually not make it about you. If you want breakthrough in your life, what you have to do is lift God up above your circumstances. Lift God up above your problems. Lift God up above the situation that you're going through. So begin to glorify God whatever you're facing. Just say out loud every day, God, I glorify you above these problems. God, I glorify you above my situation. God, I glorify you above myself. When we're going through things, of course, the tendency as human beings is to make it about us, is to focus on ourselves, is to keep praying these prayers for God to meet our needs, for God to deliver us, for God to do this, for God to move, to send his angels, and all of those things. And yes, that can work, but what a better strategy is to actually not focus on yourself when you're going through. That brings faster breakthrough and deliverance. So begin to focus on God. Lift God up. Glorify Him. No matter how you're feeling. If you're feeling down, say, God, I feel down right now, but I glorify you above my emotions. You're feeling angry, frustrated about a situation. God, I'm feeling angry right now, but I glorify you above my anger. If it's your child that's acting up, some situation, God, my child is doing this, my children is doing this, but I glorify you above their behavior. I glorify you above that situation. Your marriage, God, my marriage is in trouble. My spouse is doing this, they're not treating me right, but I glorify you above my spouse. I glorify you above my marriage. And there's no way doing that and glorifying God above the situation you're going through, and for God to not respond, for things not to change in your life. And I'm not saying doing that as like some ritual for like some spell, like to manipulate God, but from a sincere heart, just begin to glorify God above the situation that you're facing. And I'm believing that once we start doing that, we're going to start seeing greater victory in our life. Because one thing the enemy doesn't like is to glorify God. He wanted to be glorified. He wanted to be lifted up high above the throne of God, to be worshipped as God. So when those attacks are coming, when those fiery darts are coming, if we keep on glorifying God, then over time the enemy's going to be like, okay, wait, every time I send this attack, every time this is coming, they just keep glorifying God. So, and that is not what the enemy wants. He wants us to focus on the storm. He wants us to focus on the problem so that we can sink. He wants us to focus on ourselves and glorify the situation. So stop glorifying the situation. I'm not saying ignore the situation, but don't glorify it and wallow in it. Glorify in God, your heavenly Father. That is what we need to do to win. See you next time.